How will a divorce impact your inheritance? I'm going to answer that question for you in this video. Hello, I'm probate attorney Dan Scott, and I get calls like this not all the time, but pretty frequently. And today I got the call where a family believed that the kids were going to inherit the family home, the place that they were generally raised when their father passed. And so the situation is you've got three kids, a mother and a father, and the mother and father decide they're going to get a divorce. They've been divorced about 10 years. The father now has remarried, and then he has the heart attack. He has a heart attack and he leaves this planet. And now the family of the wife, that is the second wife, won't let the kids come out to the house. They won't let the kids come on the property. They say, look, you don't have anything here. And so the kids came to me and said, look, how could they take our inheritance away from us? You know, in a way, it's like their inheritance was snatched from them. So in addition to losing their daddy, they lost what they thought was going to be their inheritance, their family home. And really, it's valuable more than anything because this is where they were raised until the split of the family. Well, here's what's happened. The father has left a will, leaving everything to his wife, his new wife, and the children do not receive anything under that will. And that will, unless there's some problem with the will, and of course I don't have that information now, but unless there's some problem with the will, that will is going to be held up, or upheld, not held up, but the will will be upheld, and that property is going to pass pursuant to the will to the surviving spouse. Now, if he had not done a will, the scenario would be different because you don't lose your inheritance by virtue of a divorce. Now, the first wife loses her right as a spouse, but the children have the right as heirs at law. And they're in the factual situation that I'm talking to you about, they were still heirs at law, but the will that the father prepared and executed took away that right from them. If he hadn't done a will, those children would have all got to split 2/3 of the property because the surviving spouse, that is wife number 2, she's entitled to a child share no less than 1/3. So the 2/3 left would be split among these 3 children. So that's what happens in divorce. How could it have been avoided? How could it have been changed? Well, the kids have got to have the conversation with their dad. You know, they've got to have the conversation with their dad. Daddy, don't do that. Well, do that, Dad. So don't put off having that conversation, because if they'd had the conversation, maybe Dad would say, no, this is what I'm going to do. Or maybe the dad would have said, okay, I hadn't thought about it that way. I'll take care of it. I'll make sure my will provides for you. Now, I'm going to provide for my new wife, but I'm also going to provide for you kids. Maybe that would have happened. We don't know. Might not have worked. It didn't in this scenario. One thing that happens is they're not going to inherit any of this property. Hope that was helpful to you. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, would you subscribe to our channel? And that way we can let you know when we shoot new videos. We do that pretty much all the time. Thanks for watching.